Bitcoin, are we in trouble? Flirting with 44K now, down good amount from 49K yesterday. What are we going to do? Are we getting ready to reverse? Well, possibly. So let's look at everything with Bitcoin, starting off on the daily chart, then we'll zoom out to the bigger picture, see what levels we need to be watching for today's close and tomorrow's and the weeklies, right? All that good stuff and more. So if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want more help navigating these markets, follow us on Patreon. You get access to a private Telegram group where I put out alerts, one-on-one kind of video stuff like that. So if you're interested, join there. Otherwise, let's get right to it. Bitcoin, daily chart, as we've said redundantly, we're now flirting with a 21 EMA here. So 44.3. That's where we need to hold the line. This was potentially our warning shot. So a couple of Bitcoin videos ago, we said this is a potential that this is the crack in the ice. We could still go up, but that usually in historic Bitcoin going back for over a decade, you start flirting around with the 21-day EMA and closing multiple candles below it. Likely the ice is breaking. Doesn't mean it has to, right? Nothing's for certain in crypto, but uncertainty. All you have is the odds. That increases our odds of the end being near for the local top. So is this a bad sign? Well, not necessarily. That candle is more or less a long-legged doji or spinning top, which is what we had the previous 3 days. You want to kind of wait for the next bigger move. So far, we're getting a pretty significant move to the downside, but this candle hasn't closed yet, so we can't judge it too much. 44.2, 44.3 is kind of where we need to hold the line at close today. If you put it on a line chart, right there shows your closings. Right, this is really the only anomaly going back to October where we close below the 21 EMA, right? So let's look at that, right? Going all the way back to here. Significant closes below 3 consecutive closes, and then we kind of reversed and put in our brief local high. So far, is that a high for the next several weeks or months? Maybe, right? We're now at 43.7. We've dropped significantly since we started. So depending on when you watch this video, has the day closed? We have 7.5 hours from now. If it does close under here, that just increases our odds of continuing down. 21-day EMA is no joke to play around with. That's kind of the bull and bear dividing line, if you will. The median line on the Bollinger Bands can also kind of act like that. That's if you didn't know, the median line on the Bollinger Bands, that thin purple line, is a 20 SMA. So now you know. Okay, so on any chart you're looking at. So let's zoom out to the 3-day and see if we can get a better picture of what's happening. Yeah, this is more bearish. Why? This candle right here, this closes today as well. Right? This would be a major warning if it closes here or even below 45. Why 45, Chase? I'm glad you asked. This would confirm as dark cloud cover. What the hell is that? Does that sound good or bad? Dark cloud cover confirms when the following next candle, right from the previous one, makes a brief higher high and then ends up closing 50% or more below the previous candle. So 50% roughly, about 45, right? If we closed anywhere under 45 in 7.5 hours, that dramatically increases our odds of that being a local top. And again, this is just the odds. No guarantees, but on a 3-day chart, 3-day charts are more solid than a daily chart. Weekly charts are more solid than a 3-day chart, right? So as you go up in time, the significance increases. So 3-day chart, pretty significant to confirm a dark cloud cover. 7.5 hours from now, we need to recover back to 45K or it's yikes, right? Likely local top if we print under 45K today. So if you're watching this Saturday, Sunday, right? Where did this close? Go check now. All right. How about the weekly? So let's say it does close above 45, right? I'm going to give you all scenarios. If it closes above 45, this would just be another spinning top or a long-legged doji. It looks something like this. Whether or not it's red or green is fairly insignificant. So that would just bring more indecision, and then we'd have to wait for the next one, okay? If we close lower, right? If we close under 45, that increases our odds of a downtrend starting. Okay. And then our next target would kind of be these swing lows 41K, the 21 EMA on the 3 days, kind of in line with that. So we're looking at this zone for Bitcoin between now and like Monday, if we make an update then. Okay. So we're looking at that. Let's go out to the weekly, see if that holds anything. Kind of that low zone on the 3 day, right? Weekly is still not too bearish yet. I mean, yeah, you don't want to ever see a giant taller wick, but it'd be real bad if we closed like at 43. That would be like a shooting star. It'd be almost a textbook shooting star at 43. Shooting stars are just as bad as dark cloud cover. Very similar results. If we close under 43, that would confirm as, yeah, you know, a shooting star and or dark cloud cover. We could potentially close under that as well. Very high conviction rate of a local top being in and a new downtrend getting ready to start if that happens. So here's your warning, right? As everyone's bright-eyed and cheery over the past several days and weeks. I put out a tweet yesterday, said, I'm your anti-FOMO. I think I was the only non-100% bullish tweet yesterday. I put up the fear and greed index. We're extreme greed, right? That's tough to do when you're pushing, you know, highs you haven't seen in, you know, years. But the signs have been there of a potential local high, right? We've been talking about this for weeks. So there's not going to be any surprises, right? If you're dumbfounded at what's happening here, you're definitely not in the Telegram group, right? We talk about it daily in our Patreon group there. So no surprises there. If we come down, 41.6 is holding that EMA 8. You can see we tagged it last week, which was also the first touch since October. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We went almost 12 weeks without even testing the EMA 8. That's unhealthy. You can't do that if you want to continue said rally. Now, if we had already, like, say we hit this move, then we went back and hit the 21, and then we went back up, this could keep going for a long time. But the fact that we haven't refilled the Ferrari, we need some fuel, right? We got to get some gas. This is not enough gas. We got 1 gallon, and we're still going 200 miles an hour. How far do you think we're going to go, right, before we crash or run out of gas and get stuck in, SEC purgatory? So if we come down, right, don't panic. This is what we need. We need to refuel, right? It sucks to stop your car off the highway and get gas, but you got to do it if you want to keep the party alive, right? It's okay. So don't panic, but this is already looking pretty sketchy, right? At 44. But again, do not judge candles before they close. That's a dangerous game. You're playing with fire. Wait till the close. We have 2 days, 8 hours from now. Watch the Sunday close. If we close under 44, it's bearish. Above 44, not as, could still be, right? This is still not great for the bulls, but could kind of hold on here for another couple of weeks if we don't close under 44. So just throwing that out. All right, so that's kind of Bitcoin wrapped up. Let's go look at the daily indicators real quick because there's some things shaping up here that you need to be made aware of. Okay. We're losing momentum on the stochastics after getting trapped and rejected really above this box, right? We're in the shaded box, so not good here yet, but we are in an uptrend, right? High, higher, high, higher, high, low, higher, low. We'll see if we end up reaching down here. If we do, right, momentum's out the door. We're on the ADX and the I. We're potentially crossing bearish here. Wait for the close. And the biggest one I'm looking at, what I wanted to show you here, is the Fisher Transform. If you don't have this, you need to get it. It's my favorite indicator. If I only had to pick one, this would be it. A lot of math involved here. It's good stuff, right? This shows you a trigger sell on the daily already. Not a whole lot of fake outs here, right? You have some battles every now and again. So you want to really wait for, again, the confirmation. We want to see these lines running parallel. If you see this orange line going down and running parallel with this, very high conviction rate that we're going down for the foreseeable future. Next several days, if not several weeks, even on the daily chart. How does the 3-day look? Still an uptrend, but you can see we're really in a downtrend, but just short-term kind of reversion here on the 3-day. How about the weekly? Almost literally off the charts. Weekly has been in an uptrend since September, right? If you would have just followed this, you could have waited till the first week of October and been very high conviction rate that we're going into an uptrend, right? Think back to prices early October on any coin, especially Bitcoin. A lot of alts, many X since October, right? Fisher Transform is gold. Still triggering up on the weekly. However, I would say if we close under 44, 43K, come the weekly close, we might get a trigger sell for the first time really since the summertime, right? We're like 7 months back. Let that sink in. All right. I'll end it there. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully you found some value in this. Let's get to our card and quote of the day, of course, for the weekend. Not life, but good life is to be chiefly valued by Socrates. Socrates, I get it. Socrates, if you Bill and Ted, no. Right over your head. All right, you're too young. All right, go look at, if you want to improve your life this weekend, you want to get, blow your mind, go to YouTube after this video, right? Hit the back button and type in Socrates quotes. He's got some good ones. Dude was way beyond his time. All right, car of the day, car of the week. Maybe you're like, what the hell is that? Right? It's a McLaren Artura, but it's a special GT4. It's the first one. This is at a car show, is kind of the reveal of it. Anytime you got mayors on the front of your car, there's money involved. If you don't know what mayors is, do a little Google search. Or not, and save yourself some money. The McLaren Artura GT4. This is McLaren's kind of, they were like the title sponsor. You could see like their really race edition over here. This is their kind of track edition. This is crazy. They uncovered it later, but it has no top. So it was kind of raining, or I was just drilling that much. And so they had to keep it covered, but it came out later. I had to go back and get it. I don't think I have any pictures though. There's a side spec of it. Pretty sweet. There you go. They had another special one over here. There's the McLaren F1. And yeah, pretty cool to see these kind of cars just in person. All right, I'll wrap it up there. Hopefully you liked it. Try to make another video sometime now. Maybe I'll do a chain link video. Those seem to do well. If you want a chain link update, you might be in luck. Happy Friday.